Hello, everyone. I'm live on Twitch right now, so if you guys want to jump in, I'll give everyone some time to jump in. We did have a pretty good conversation last week on marketing, presentation, slightly went into branding, but basically where we talked about where your work can go when you're trying to get in front of galleries or design agencies, etc. This week, a few days ago, I received an email that my printer has built an app that can integrate with Shopify. So I will switch to the Asus monitor. My Shopify store, I reactivated it to test it out. But obviously, there's nothing wrong with the Shopify store in terms of aesthetics. Aesthetically, it's better than my current website. The problem is, in terms of substance, it's lacking. So I'll just show you guys the homepage for Shopify first. I absolutely love how it looks in terms of the web design. I spent quite a bit purchasing a premium theme for my website from Shopify, but I can't transfer the theme over to my new web host. So, but it's still here. There's just limitations on how many products I can sell. I think I can only sell one product per photograph. So I'll show you guys a little bit about that. But in terms of it's a beautiful looking theme, and I just customized it. Spent quite a bit of time customizing it. So here's the issue that I really run into, and I tested it out on here, but I'll go to one that's still basically like default. So here's Allure. This is very, again, good presentation. I have no issues whatsoever with the layout. But again, the problem is I can only offer one product at a time, and I have to manually go in and change whenever the inventory changes, like if the printer runs out of paper or a certain type of material, I have to manually come back into the site, into Shopify, and update all the information. And when I have over 200 photographs to update, it's just not feasible. So really, when you come down to the dimensions here, I can only offer various sizes on one single product, right? And that's all I can do. And then the other issue is once you scroll down, potential clients, people who are just shoppers, they have no access to keywords. And so they really can't sort my inventory by keywords, which is really good to do on the current web host that I'm using. So I'll go one to one and just show you guys this is the website that I'm on. I'm going through Photo Deck, and I changed some of the images here on the homepage, but I can't scroll down with this particular theme. Photo Deck doesn't have any premium themes that I could find. The themes are kind of generic, and I don't know enough about HTML coding to really improve it as much as I want. And so I'm just going to have to see if I can mimic this particular look with the slideshow, but also be able to scroll down and have a footer at the bottom. Because what I really want to have is this bold footer down here with all the information, and I can move my camera out of the way. So there's the newsletter that you sign into. Here's all the terms of service, refund policies, that sort of thing. Social media icons over here. So everything's just, it's more polished, you know. It's much more polished on Shopify. But like I said, it's missing some things. So I'm going to go to Allure on here. And as you guys can see, I sort of mimicked the gallery from Shopify. So if you go gallery on this page, this is what it looks like. And as you can see, there's a little animation that happens. And so that part's really cool. So when I go here, it doesn't have that the enter animation, like entering, like when you're scrolling. It's more of a fade animation. So if I can go in and change that, that would be good. When the mouse is over a particular image, it does like a little pop-up and it goes opaque in the background, which is nice. So I tried to mimic this compared to Shopify as much as possible. But again, the effect of that pop-up is just more fine-tuned. So if I can go into the coding and figure out how to mimic this, that would be good. And then also the placement of the text on the thumbnail, I like that better. But what I have here is fine. You know, I'm not complaining too much about that. So like I said, I'm going to go to Allure on here. And as you can see, the presentation is more simple. Which is not necessarily a great thing. Like the presentation here is better. I'm able to put another image here, just showing what it looks like in an interior, and then having the actual photograph here. I can expand it, so that's fine. But again, problem is I can only offer one print product. So when I go back to Photo Deck, yes, this looks pretty plain in terms of presentation. But I do have the keywords down here that you can select. And like if you go art print, as I've showed you guys before, you'll bring up everything with that label or with that keyword. So there's that. If you go with, let's say, nature photography, which is more specific, everything in the inventory under nature photography will pop up. So it just makes it a lot easier for people to shop for and find what they're looking for specifically. So there's that. And the other thing is when you go up here to product selection, there are plenty of products. All of them are customizable in terms of sizes, You can either go select inches or centimeters. You can select different types of paper. You have a couple of examples up here with this particular product on what you're actually getting. So this is just a standalone print. And also I included down here the different currencies, because I'm getting views from, I'm getting international views. And so people in other parts of the world can see possibly how much the print costs in their own currency. And of course you have the add to cart. And let me see, view cart. So this is pretty standard, but just in terms of design, I would make it look more appealing. You know what I mean? But just basic how things are supposed to look. It's not bad. So let me clear this out. So yes, Photo Deck, the functionality here is much better than with Shopify. But like I said, with the aesthetics, it needs some improvements. The other thing that I noticed too is that when I go to the showcase page, like this, the presentation here compared to here is just better. So what I want to do, like I said, is try to pull as many design aspects from here in Shopify and bring it over here. The only thing in terms of function that Photo Deck doesn't do a good job in is that you have to manually change certain aspects of web design in the mobile version. Like the mobile version and the website version on Photo Deck is not completely in sync. So when you change something on the desktop side, sometimes you have to go into the mobile version and change that manually, because it's not going to be in sync, which is very annoying, to be honest. But I'm kind of weighing the pros and cons of both web hosts. But I think for right now, Photo Deck is pretty good. But again, with the product selection, this is all coming from my printer that's in Germany. And they integrated their website with Photo Deck, and it just works perfectly. I don't have any problems or issues with it. The example images to, which help clients see what type of product they're getting. I mean, the layout is really good. I really don't have much of a problem with that. I'll probably change the font if I can figure out how to do that. But other than that, I mean, it's not that bad. But yeah, I can go through everything. I mean, it all works. The clients can come in and change all of this on their own, like just pick out whichever options that they want, and I don't have to do anything with it. Now, what I asked my printer in 2019 is to bring this functionality into Shopify. And like I said earlier this week, I received an email from them letting me know that I could download their app and install it into Shopify, which I have, but it doesn't link to their website like it's supposed to. Like I already uploaded my print files to my printer's website, and it's supposed to show up here, but it's really not. So I sent them a lengthy email yesterday and let them know of all the bugs or issues or glitches that I ran into. And so hopefully they will be able to go in and fix that. And then the other problem too is that from here, the maximum file size that I can upload is 64 megabytes. And for my photographs, most of them are like 80 to 90 megabytes. I have a few that's over 100 megabytes, and this is just for JPEGs. So I can't upload them directly into Shopify, right? I also tried a few images at around 50 megabytes, and those do not upload either. So I'm thinking that yes, the app it's installed, but it's not working properly. So hopefully, I told him that I'll come back in a few months and check it just to see if any progress on improvements have been made. But other than that, I'll show you guys what happens when I actually, I uploaded this image to see how it looks. And excuse me, they give you examples of each size, but the sizes are not syncing up properly. So instead of having a separate image for each print size, on PhotoDeck, what they did is they integrated that into the actual user interface. So if you want like a preview of the size of this, they just have one image, and then whenever you change this changes here. So you don't have a whole row of images. It just updates within this little box here. So the design of it is actually better on PhotoDeck. On Shopify, I just suggested that this has to be simplified. Like if you're going to have an example of file of print sizes in an interior, just simplify it, because then you have to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, especially if you're going to have a lot of different products, right? So I tested this out on another image. Let me see. It's under nature. There we go. So I tested this one out. I went ahead and replaced that slanted image because I didn't like it, and it was cropping the photograph. So you see this example here, my photograph is cropped. The signature is cut off. The edges are cut off. It's probably cropped a good 4 inches all the way around, which I don't know why. But yeah, it's like that on all of them. So what I ended up doing is you can delete all of these extra images down here because ultimately you don't really need them. And then in terms of product selection, I do have 3 products on here now. So that's the way it's supposed to look. Ultimately, if the bugs get fixed, I would probably have about 14 to 17 different products on here. So I would have to think how would that look on a user interface. So I'm thinking like for each product, like this is for just the print on Fuji Crystal. This is the print for under acrylic glass. And then this one is the floater frame, which is there. But again, when you look at it, it's cropping the image in the preview for some reason. So obviously there's different sizes. The different sizes are here. The other problem is that there's no clients can't just change the options on their own, right? Because with this particular frame, there's black, there's white, and there's natural or brown, right? And how my printer has it on Shopify is the client can't change the frame color themselves. I have to upload a configuration for each frame color, and then if I change the mat size, same deal. And so so I let them know that you have to simplify that. You have to put all the options on here, whether it's the mat size changes, the frame color changes, the paper type changes. Put all that on here and get rid of most of these images, right? Have like one, or you can have a combination of 4 images as an example of that particular product, right? Because that's how it is on here, where you have just small examples and they're pretty much packed together to where, okay, this is what you're getting, right? So yeah, it definitely has to be simplified. So yes, I sent them my photo deck website, and then I sent them my Shopify page for them to compare how the user interface works. And hopefully all they would have to do really is take this user interface and bring it over to Shopify. But what I don't know is, can they do that? Because I think that this user interface was created by Photodeck. And so in order to have this over on Shopify, Shopify would have to have a web design that matches it, is what I'm thinking. And I don't think that my printer can go in and change the web design of whatever Shopify theme you may have. So that's, my concern. Let's see. So yes, I also contacted Photodeck and I told them, I shared my Shopify store with them in terms of web design. I gave suggestions on how Photodeck can have some premium themes. Certain things can be improved aesthetically. And if they do that, then I would feel a lot better with sticking with them because, like I said, there's certain, however, everything works like it's supposed to, on Photodeck. But aesthetically, it's just not. I would like to see something more contemporary in terms of style. But at this point, I'm not really making too big of a fuss. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, the other thing with Shopify is that they have other like third-party partners are integrated. Like I have Shop Pay with this one, so you can split the payment up into 4 monthly payments, or you can pay like a flat monthly fee if you don't have the entirety of the particular cost at one time, which is really helpful. But at the same time, it's like I would need to have multiple products on here for sure. So I don't know. Yeah, this is a lot. And see, the thing is, if I add more product, this is going to be ridiculously long, which it really is. It already is too long to scroll through. And if you're on mobile, your phone, and you have to scroll through all these product images, that's just not, that's not a good look. The blog on Shopify is also very good. So I like how the blog functions on here better than Photodeck. But again, I don't blog very often. But again, aesthetically, I just like the look of this a lot better than I do on here. So I only have one so far. I think it's just going to be simple one column. I don't think I can have any fancy animations on here. So yeah, there's that. So for Photodeck, I think if I can get the homepage where I want it, that will be I'll feel better. I'll definitely feel better about it. Now, my major concern, even though these are all major concerns, but what I have noticed since I've switched to Photodeck and left Shopify is my engagement in terms of just views. Let's see if I can pull up like everything. I don't know if I can pull up everything. Well, it feels like the amount of people that visit the site is better on Photodeck. Yeah, I was on Shopify in 2023. And then somewhere along the line, I closed the site. And I switched over. I think it was in was it March or May last year? But these are my views on Photodeck. And like I said, yeah, it was May. May 5th is when I switched over. And started kind of slow, then it picked up. And the thing is that I can see everybody's searches over here. You know, whatever keyword they clicked on to search. And that's when I started noticing that those keywords that are at the bottom of the images, at the bottom of the photographs, people really utilize them quite a bit. So I think that's really important to have on whatever web host you're using. Yeah, so I can generally see what potential buyers are searching for. And then I have search engines over here to see what's driving in traffic. I don't know. I don't know if I'm looking at this the wrong way, but it just seems like my engagement wasn't as good on Shopify. So analytics and yeah, there's like 2.7 thousand direct. Yeah, they go into all the same things like where traffic came from. I don't think I can go back to 2022 because that would make a little bit more sense. Let me see if I can manually do this. Okay, there we go. Yeah, actually, this doesn't look bad. 2021 was at 350. April 2022 was at 455. It's not bad. My referrals are very low. That's crazy. Wow. For the entire year of 2021. Let me check on the referrals for 22. Okay, so January to, let's say, yeah, it sounds a little Yeah, it sounds crazy, but yeah, that's very low for my referrals. Let's go last year one more time. Or you know what? Let me go 23. So January 1st to December 31st, 23. Yeah, and then influencer, I don't know what that is. That's interesting. Yeah, because I didn't move over until May 2024. So I'm just wondering. The online store sessions don't look bad. It's just the traffic coming in from the outside is very low. I think the Baidu search engine only has 52. Pinterest, I think that's Korea, has 9. Pinterest, and maybe that's Mexico, has 3. Like for the entire year. That doesn't sound right at all. Okay, so I'm going to compare that to what I'm doing so far this year. I've got, in terms of latest search engine visits, what's this from yesterday? Okay, 24 from Bing. We got 16 from Pinterest, Googlebot 35, Facebook. Okay. But see, I get numbers like this all the time. Like all the time. So that's why, like, Bing on the 18th has another 18 visits. Pinterest on February 18th had 26 visits. So in a matter of a couple of days, I've got, a lot more search engine referrals compared to what I was getting on Shopify for all of 2023. I don't know. So while I was using Shopify, I felt like my website just wasn't getting as much reach as I thought it was supposed to. And I don't know if that's because clients don't have access to the keywords, or I'm not sure what is the cause of that. Like the 15th of February, I had 106 page visits just from Pinterest. And that was in a day. And that beats what I got in, where is it? From Baidu in a year. And then this one, Influencer Hero, I don't know what that is, which was 111. So I don't know why the search engines weren't picking up my website. I don't know. That's strange. Because look at We've got sessions by social source. Pinterest was 205 and then 265. I had 79 from Facebook. Like all of these are low. And then you have the other socials. I had 299 compared to 319 the previous year. And then direct traffic, which is either I'm coming to the website or people are just typing it in. It's 2.7 thousand. The year before was 3.5 thousand, which, like I said, is not a lot. For an entire year, that's not a lot. Anyway, I was just wondering if I was going crazy a little bit with that. So last year, which was 24, I've only had 5 months in. So that's when I start taking things away. Yeah, one referral from Cultural Council, one from West Cover, which was supposed to get a lot more than that because West Cover was linked to Shopify for months. So I'm thinking if I close this website in May and only got one referral from West Cover, that is insanely low. Yeah, so I don't know exactly what would be the cause of that exactly, but I just know that the numbers are supposed to be higher. So anyway, this is what I'm looking at. I think I also noticed that in terms of location, where are the views coming from? Most of the views come from the United States, right? But then when I switched to Photo Deck, most of my views are coming from overseas. I'm getting views from, let's see, we got Singapore, Mexico City, obviously the one in the United States for Jacksonville, that's me. But I've got China on here, and this is just from yesterday. Germany, Singapore, a little bit more. Now on here, under visitors, United States can be anything. This one's Santa Clara, California. The one from here, I know that's me because it's picking up my visits as well. But the ones that are from myself, I can identify those a lot easier because it's telling me what the exact location is. A lot of Singapore from yesterday. Austria, Vienna, Germany again, Belgium, another Mexico City. But as I was Hong Kong, okay. As I was going through the analytics for Shopify, I wasn't getting this huge variation of countries internationally, And so that's why when I signed up on this in May from last year and I started looking at where my visits were coming from, it really surprised me. So I don't know if that's part of the coding, um, or like I couldn't tell you, but definitely like without question, the photo deck. I guess I get visitors, or I can see that I get visitors from several different countries. So we got Japan, Tokyo, another Austria, um, the Netherlands, Brazil. Yeah, this is all from yesterday still, because the date is over here. California, Santa Clara, Ashburn, Virginia. Yeah, so I don't know what the disconnect is, because like I said, if I come over here and I check my analytics, because all of my work, whether it was on Shopify or Photodeck, is really distributed on the same platform, same search engines. But like I said, for some reason, I just wasn't seeing that huge. I wasn't getting a lot of numbers internationally. Most of everything was coming from the United States, and quite a few of those visits were from myself. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll probably dig into this a little bit more, but man, it's I feel like I'm looking at this wrong. But that's the end. That's what it was capturing. So yeah, for the entire year of 2023, I had 87 visits from China. And I know that I've already, gone through like completely gotten more views than that, within the past year. Even before the end of 2024, I have a lot of views from China. But we got Canada here with 50, Singapore with 40, India 34. So it's like I'm not sure why the reach was so small. I don't know. Anyway, so that's why I'm thinking that I have to figure out how to incorporate this layout to the photo deck website, because I used to do this like every day, look at my analytics for the new photo deck website. But just again, like I look at everything and I'm like this one from Google, 157, and that was on Valentine's Day. Like there's huge jumps in the numbers from where traffic is coming from. And I never got these types of numbers this consistently on Shopify. So if I can clean up the aesthetics on Photodeck, then I will be a very happy person. I'll be a very happy person. All right. So I don't think I'm gonna be on too long. I'm already almost at the hour mark. So yeah, and then there's a lot of other web hosts that photographers can use, but because I want my print order process to be animated, or I should say automated, where it basically runs on its own, then I have to use Photodeck, because automated print process with the specific printer that I'm using, this works the best. And so I'm probably going to come over here and see what font this is. I have an idea what font I use, but I'm going to double check it. But go into the HTML code, see what font I use, and then try to pull that over here to the website that I am using. And then eventually I'm going to let the Shopify store close again, because like I said, I don't think that I'll be able to fix the referral issue, or the lack of referrals that I was getting from other countries internationally. So Photodeck has been working really well. I think the only thing I need to continue to focus on with this is adding more work to it, more prints. And it seems like anytime I add something new, I get more visitors that keep coming back. So I'll continue to add more work and then see if they find something that they like. I got a couple of engagements from the print that I uploaded a few days ago. One was here in the US. The other one was in the US, but specifically from New York. They selected this one. Can I pull this up? I can't pull this up right here. Hold on. Yes, I added, well, I should just go to latest artwork. So latest artwork is up here, and you click on that and it'll show you what I've added recently. So I didn't have any uploads in December or January, but the last couple weeks or so, I added some more prints. So these two are definitely this week. I added these two. But they clicked on here and let's see, click on this one. Oh, there it is. I thought I forgot it. Never mind. Yeah, so from latest artwork, you have to click on the image info icon to see everything, all the information, which is weird. I didn't know it did that. So if I can put this information at the bottom of the photograph like it is from the gallery link, then I'll do that. Because if I go to gallery and I go to long way, and I click on the image, the information is below. You don't have to click an extra button. So I should be able to change that in the coding, the website coding. I should be able to figure out how to change that layout. Yeah, because when I'm looking, from what I can see through analytics, is that people are entering in this generic keyword, which like this one is shop art, and then they're just looking at everything, you know. So I have to make sure that wherever they land, when they click on the image, the information is actually there like it's supposed to be. Yeah, like see, the information is not at the bottom. You have to click the icon and it opens up like a pop-up, and I just think that's annoying. So now the search results from there, I don't know if I can change that, because I don't know if that's an actual page that's created. Like I created Latest Works as a page, so I know I can go in the background and change the code for the website layout. But for search results, I have not seen that in the coding anywhere. That is a very good question. So if I go to, okay, so that's a nav menu. Yeah, so I don't see that page. Customs, no. I don't see that page at all. Like I will have to find the link to that page and where it starts here so that I can change the layout for it. I think that would help. And if I can't find it, I'm gonna ask the support team for Photodeck and see if I can find it. I mean, see if they can just, if they know where it is, they can tell me where it is, and so I can fix that. Like this one, someone from Austria, Vienna, Austria, they selected classic car, which brought them to this page. But then when you click on a photograph, the title, the description, the year, the keywords, like none of that stuff shows up. And I don't know if everybody knows to click this icon up here in the corner. So I just want to streamline that for sure and make it easier to find the information. All right. So going into the next hour, I don't think it's going to take me too long to do this, but I want to add another photograph to the website for sure. So I'm going to bring up Adobe Bridge, and this is what I was working on this week. So from this point, I will go into photo editing. I don't think there's much editing I have to do on this particular photograph I'm thinking of, but it might be, I don't know. Hold on. I got to find, I made a list of, oh, here we go. No, I don't want it big. Here we go. Let's see. I'm going to, well, all of these are potential photographs that can be added to the website. Some of them are just whole folders that I need to clean up because I've got too many photographs that I'm not going to use. So I should just delete some of these, some of the stuff in the folders, but there's a few that Okay, this is where I was before. Night Crescent Moon Black. Yeah, I added that one. So that's done. There was like 3 potential photographs I wanted to use, but when I looked at the composition, I was like, just the one was fine. So once I start completing these edits, I will delete some of this stuff. But there's quite a few to go through. Okay, so what do I want to go? I have to remember which folder it's in. I'm thinking it's Peter's Point, so that's got to be 2019. Now, this is going to be new to everybody else, but these are not new photographs. It's just I have not shown them before. So I started going through these and finding some really good photographs. I just need to make sure I'm finished with editing them and add my signature. Gosh, there's a few of these. I don't know which one it's in. I have to find it. I should have just took it out of the folder and tagged it. That is not it. That's not it. I know exactly which one I'm looking for. I just don't know which folder it's in because I went to Peter's Point multiple times. I should have tagged it blue already though. Hold on. It's not that. It's close to that. But the water is, I believe the water is closer down here. Let's go blue. There you are. I did drag it out. Okay. So that's the one. I think this one is better than the one I just showed you guys. Let's see, 0545. I'm going to go ahead and close this app over here. Okay. This is really nice. I like it. Did I have I gotta grab my iPad because I'm gonna need that to sign it. But ultimately, it's got a crop symbol on it. I'm praying to God I did not crop this thing. Hold on. I did crop it. Wow. Can I reset? There you go. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's that right there. I didn't know I cropped it. The issue is that since the print process is automated, it's better to add prints that are not cropped into the system. Otherwise, I would have to make like a brand new product listing. I would have to bring brand new product listings just for this one print. And I doubt I want to do that. So I'm going to have to see how I can crop this so that it fits a preset that's already in the system. That's what I'm going to have to do. Okay, so I'm going to close this out and I'll keep that one open. I'm trying to think, like, do I have, I know what I can do. Let me see. I need a traditional format. Instead of the 3:2 format, I need like an 8x10 format. Like, see, this is a 3:2 format, which is whether it's horizontal or vertical, it's an 8x12, right? So instead of an 8x12, I need an 8x10 so that I can crop some of this off. But if I go, let me test it out and see what I can get out of this. Because I think, I can grab my printout. Hold on. I actually have a layout chart for this. What size can I actually use? Let's see if I can get this to fit. Okay, so right now it's 60 inches wide, 37.48 inches high. So it's cropped a little bit. I can still print it at a 3:2, but that means that the edges are going to be cut off. The edges are going to be cut off for sure. Over here. Let me see. Go 10. So it's 10 inches by 6.25. And then there's a panoramic, but that's really not going to work. Because if I go 12, sorry about that. If I go 12, it's 7.5. So it's like almost correct. I didn't crop off that much. What about 24? Yeah, so instead of 16, it's about 15. I only cropped off an inch. And I would think that it wouldn't make that much of a difference, but it does. Yeah, so at 60 inches wide, it'll be about 2.5 inches short on the top, which is not terrible, but I want to see what it looks like. Because a little bit of maybe an inch here and an inch here will be cut off. So I don't know if I need to kind of adjust that composition or not. Yeah, because there's no way I can upload this and it prints out just normally. Like this would be a custom print for sure, which is nothing wrong with that, but then it limits the products I can use it on, and I don't want to do that either. So if I can get it close, I think that'll be good. And I grab my iPad. All right. Okay, so go ahead and I'm going to open in Photoshop. As far as I can tell, everything looks good. Lighting, I don't see any spots just yet, like dust spots on the print or the photograph, but did I already select it? It didn't open, did it? No. It might have just closed. Hold on, let me see. All right, so I'm going to close Chrome. And I'm going to close the Finder. And let me check the wastebasket. I'm going to delete everything in here. Okay, so that's going to free up some of the RAM. And try that again. It's not responding at all. That's so weird. There we go. Come on. And do this the long way. This is November 27th, 2019. So yeah, I think it was 5:45, right? Yep. Oh, I see what the problem is. It's too big. Take it back down. Okay, that was my fault. I was trying to open it at 60 inches wide. It was too big. There she goes. Very simple. Very simple. Okay, so I want to check the brightness to make sure my brightness is right. And the only way I can do that is on my iPad. My camera stopped. It did stop. So we're gonna take this down right now. I'm chewing up too much RAM. That's probably what it is. Anyway, so we're gonna come here. This is my iPad. Bring it over. There we go. And move it over here. That'll work. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna move this to the iPad just to check the brightness on it. Yeah, it's a bit low. I gotta boost the brightness on here. I'm gonna drag this over to the iPad too, which you guys can't see. The highlights are already up, you know. I will definitely have to test it out, you know. Because the issue is that the the prints come out darker, they print darker than what you're looking at on screen. So yeah, they print darker. So I lean more to the lighter side when I'm doing this. So you have to find that balance, because once I brighten it that much, it's really tricky, you know. So the only thing I mess with is the exposure. My highlights are already sky high. Shadows as low as I can get them. My whites, I really didn't mess with that. Blacks, really low. So my exposure was at negative 0.65. And I have a feeling if I go that dark, it's going to print too dark. You know what I mean? So maybe because I had it at 45, I think that's too high. So I definitely want to find a sweet spot for this. Excuse me. Yeah, so I just keep it at 0.5 and go from there. Yeah. So that's where I started. It looked a little bit too dark. Just a little bit lighter. And then that's way too light. That's tricky because even when I do that, it flattens it out. So I'm gonna have to order this for sure, just to make sure. But it's a good one. All right. This is for my iPad, but I don't know if I can find it. There it is. Sidecars play. Okay. Okay, so this should be my iPad, which I haven't used on here before. But yeah, this is on channel screen 4. All right. So what I'm going to do is I sign my work with the Apple Pencil. So I'm going to drag this over. There we go. Okay. And sorry, it's on my lap. Mask, no. Okay. Okay, that looks about right, I think. All right, so back to the monitor. I want to make this thinner. So I come to the thumbnail, select pixels, and then come up to select, modify. I want to contract it. I'll go one pixel is fine. Leave a little bit of thickness to it. So contract 1 pixel, okay. And then come down here, click on your layer mask. And there we go. So that's where it was. And then it's thinner. You can move it a little bit, I guess. It looks a little too big. Command T. I think hold down Option. Get a little bit smaller. Enter. Let me try that again. There we go. That'll do it. Okay. I think that's fine. Now, like I said, a little bit of this is going to come off on the edges, but I think the top is going to be fine. Top and bottom are going to be fine. Because I want to keep this part up here on the top edge. And I'm just hoping that I'm not going to lose too much of this light over here on the corner or on the edge. So okay, so this is the I'm going to tag it purple. Okay, so I think that's going to work. I really do. Now, I don't know if I'm going to mess up anything if I try to enlarge the print in terms of like pushing my memory on the computer too much. Oh, wait a minute. Let me do this the other way. All right. So, you know what? I will go small first. Hold on. I'm going to convert the signature to a smart object. And let me see. Okay. And then save it. Yeah, I also convert the signature layer to a smart object because it's going to get stretched or expanded, so you don't want to have pixelation there. Okay. So this is going to be, it looks really good. This is going to be my small JPEG for online or social media. I'm going to tag it yellow. Okay, so there's that. And now we're going to enlarge it. Resample, preserve details, enlargement. Inches, the width is going to be 60. And okay. Just one more quick look at everything. I like it. It's very clean. Very clean. All right. So I'm gonna transfer this over. So I'm gonna go raw, camera raw. Now this is the same thing. It's resizing the image, but since this is a raw file, I like how camera raw expands the file better. So again, the width is going to be 60. And just click OK, and then open. And I don't know if it's going to open or not. Because I'm chewing up a lot of memory. And yes, the good news is on my day job, because like I mentioned last week, I work full time in the daytime, and then in the evenings I come in the studio and I work on this stuff. Well, today on my day job was my 2-year anniversary. So I've been a contractor for the 2 years. I work for a Fortune 500 company. So they were either going to renew my contract, fire me, or hire me permanently, like something like that. So I had my interview this morning for them to hire me on permanently, and went over all the details and everything. And so Human Resources called me around the time I got home this evening, and I found out that they want to move forward with me becoming permanent. And I did ask for, because there's like, and I know I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm going to get to my point. There is a tier system with the salary, because this position is not going to be hourly based. It's just an annual salary you get. So there's 3 tiers to the annual salary. Like you can work overtime, whatever, like your salary is going to be the same. So they told me what the bottom tier was of the 3. And I said, well, I want like 1,500 more than that. So that's what I requested. And so that's what that's what the interviewer sent to Human Resources. So I spoke to one person yesterday. I spoke to another person this morning when I was at work. And then I got the call from Human Resources when I got home. And they gave me quite a bit more than I asked for. So I'm thinking that I'm in tier 2 or maybe the lower end of a tier 1 in terms of yearly salary. So that means that I'm going to be able to pay off some more things here and upgrade my computer. Now, I don't know if I want a just a MacBook Pro, a laptop, or do I want to get another Mac Mini with just more memory on it? I do like my screens that I have because I've got two pretty big external monitors. The one that's color calibrated is 27 inches, and then my secondary monitor is actually at my 4K TV, and that's 43 inches, so I can see, and I'm not straining my eyes as much as I'm looking at these screens, because I like to have big, a nice size monitor. But the only problem is with the Mac Mini is that it's the desktop. It just sits there. So if I'm out somewhere, I just can't pull something up on the laptop. And my iPad is okay, but it doesn't have the Mac OS operating system, so it doesn't work like a laptop, which I need it to. So, yeah, I don't know. Like if I get a laptop, it'll probably be a 16 inch, and that's going to be well over 3,000, which means that it would take some time to save up the money, but I would be able to get it. But I don't know how much I'm actually going to use it because I'm so used to, like I say, the 27 inch I'm using, which is color calibrated, and then the 43 inch, which is my secondary monitor. Sometimes I watch TV on it, but most of the time, like I don't have cable or anything like that, so most of the time I use it as a secondary monitor. So yeah, let me go ahead and adjust. Yeah, it didn't open. I'm using up too much RAM, so that's the only problem that I have with my computer setup right now, is that it will, especially if I'm streaming at the same time, it will not let me have two giant files open at once and stream. So I probably need to go to a 32 gig, have 32 gigabytes of memory right now. This one is the base model of the Mac Mini, so it only has 8 gigabytes. The CPU and a graphics card, superb. They work great, but when I need to temporarily store a lot of memory, it doesn't like that at all. So I'm gonna price them. I may just upgrade a Mac Mini first, and then long term, really get a high end MacBook Pro 16 inch, because it has more ports, bigger monitor, of course, but it's probably going to be in a $3,500 range, which is a lot. But I will definitely use it, But anyway, I can save this right here as is, before I go. Am I on the right screen? Okay, I'm on the right screen. So this one is going to be the actual print. And this file is going to go to the printer so that when orders come in, people can just order it. The printer will already be ready. I don't have to do anything, you know. And then I tag these green as normal for print files. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to small or back to normal size. So the normal size that I keep on Photoshop is the original 18 by 12 print size, and that's what I save with the Photoshop file, because if you take a 60-inch by 40-inch print and save it as a Photoshop file, you're probably gonna be 2 gigabytes, maybe even more in terms of file size on your hard drive. And with the amount of photographs I have, I definitely don't want to do that. But yeah, that's all I have for right now. I'm almost at my 2-hour mark. So if you guys have any questions, comments, feedback, welcome to those of you who followed on Twitch and on YouTube. And if you haven't followed me there yet, there are links in the Twitch bio and the YouTube bio, I believe. So you can follow me there. And also I am getting more of your comments on Instagram, which I also appreciate. So you can follow me there as well. And gosh, I think that's all I've got right now. I'm going to take a break for a while and then go into what other images or photographs I want to edit and add to the inventory this weekend. But other than that, I think it's just me taking a break because I'm exhausted. I had jury duty on Tuesday, and that was 10 hours. I didn't get selected, so yeah. That was a long 10 hours. It really was. Let me tag these correctly. Let's see, we got a green for the print file, and we've got yellow for the small JPEG for social media. The raw file stays with a blue label. Photoshop, I give that purple. So when I'm in Photoshop tagging these to different colors, that is for the Mac user interface. So if I open up my folder from Mac and not in Adobe Bridge, all of the files are still color coded the same. So for example, if I go to my Finder, do I still have my Finder up? No, I don't. The color coding is still the same. And again, it just helps me keep everything organized. So see, here's the green, there's the yellow, and then the raw file, and I'll just add blue. So if I'm not in Adobe Bridge and I'm just browsing through the folders through Mac, then I still can clearly or quickly see what everything is. So this one will be purple for Photoshop. So that's what those little dots are for. And again, because I have so many photographs. I need to keep my sanity and look over everything as quickly as possible. So that really helps. And like I said before, this is your XMP file. This is where all of your edits from Camera Raw are saved. So don't lose that. Don't lose it, because I start editing in Adobe Camera Raw, and then I bring the file into Photoshop and, do more edits. But with the Photoshop file, all of the edits are saved within Photoshop. There is no other external file on the side that saves your edits. Everything is contained within Photoshop. With Adobe Camera Raw, that's not the case. You're just going to have your raw file, which is just how it looks. This is how the file looks originally. And then what you did to edit it in Camera Raw will be saved with the XMP file. So that's where all your edits are. And then when I switched over from PC to Mac, that was the issue that I ran into a couple years ago, was the Mac could not read the PC version of the XMP file. So it was a huge headache getting all the edits transferred over manually, and it was like, oh my gosh. But yeah. I switched it over to my iPad from PC, and the iPad can't read the XMP file from the PC. But if you have a Mac Mini, which is the desktop version of Apple, it should be fine. But if you're trying to go from like a PC laptop or tower to your iPad, you might run into that problem of your iPad won't be able to read the XMP file. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, so there's all my color coding stuff. And yeah, like there's quite a few things, that I want to possibly bring over. There's some potentials, but really it's just these 4 right now. Excuse me. So these 4 are done, right? And it's all the same file. It's just different, they're different. So I'm going to pull them over to what I call like the finished pile, which is my signature prints folder. And let's see, they're going to go into 2019 under, nope, just go in 2019. So I'm going to drag them over. There we go. Go to 2019 and they should pop up. Yeah, here they go. Here they are. And when you drag your raw file in Adobe Bridge, the XMP file is attached to it, so it's going to come automatically. But if you drag the XMP file from the Finder in Mac, you have to manually drag the XMP file with it, because it sees it as 2 separate files in Mac. But in Adobe Bridge, it sees them as together. How that works differently, I don't know, but that's what I've noticed. So you see that little icon right there that has it's like a filter icon. That's your XMP file, or how Adobe Bridge shows you that your XMP file is there. If you have an image that does not have this little icon up here in the corner, that's just letting you know that you don't have an XMP file for it, which means that there's no edits applied to the raw file. If you want to single out all your raw files, there's the file type down here. So you just click on camera raw image, and these are all your all the raw files are just show up. And you can toggle all these. This is just for folders. This is just for JPEGs. This one is for anything that's a Photoshop document. So there's another way to filter everything. So like I said before, I would probably go crazy if I didn't work in Adobe Bridge. And if your iPad is not connected to your Mac Mini, you won't be able to access Adobe Bridge just from your iPad by itself, which is weird, and I don't think they've updated it, but last time I checked, you can't do that. And if you just use Photoshop on the iPad without being connected to your Mac Mini, you're going to be missing a whole bunch of features on Photoshop, because it's not the iPad's operating system is not the same as the Mac Mini. So Photoshop reads it as a tablet, like a mobile device instead of an actual computer, which is problematic for me. So that's why I don't use my iPad as much as I want to. It's very good with editing, but you definitely have to have it connected to your Mac Mini, or you can probably connect it to your MacBook Pro. But yeah. So there's that. I don't think they're gonna upgrade the iPad's operating system to match the Mac Mini or the MacBook Pro, because then I think that's gonna make it compete against the MacBook Air, and I don't think Apple wants to do that. But my iPad Pro has just as much memory. Actually, my iPad Pro has 16 gigabytes of memory. Pretty much the same central processing unit, the same graphics processor. So it's really powerful, but because of the operating system is more like a mobile device, it limits you in what you can do with it. So, yeah, it's weird. So I have the iPad here, but I'm not able to use it as much as I thought it was, because it was marketed to me like this is a laptop replacement, But yeah, they're gonna have to do something with the with the operating system in order for it to actually be that. But I'm gonna take the rest of the night and probably sift through these after I take a break. And it's about 10:20 right now. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And like I said, you have any questions, comments, feedback, you can visit any of the links where I'm on social media or YouTube or even Spotify. And I'll get messages and catch up on reading all whatever you guys seeing. So that's all I have for right now. Yeah. So that's all I have. So again, thank you guys. Stay tuned to especially Instagram, because once the prints are done, then I usually add them on to, or post them on Instagram, letting everyone know that they're on the website for sale. So if you guys at least want to see how everything looks at the end, you can go ahead and check it out. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Take care.